Here we have two riders from the same team. This is the German Bike Aid team, but they're not both Germans, because Jesse de Roy that team. That's not him. That's Sebastian Nehaus, who's done very well in the mountains classification so far. There they are, those two there, and that's Jesse de Roy coming through at the back in that teal green of Bike Aid. And sandwiched in the Bike Aid sandwich is Ole Thaler in the black and yellow of Team Lotto Kernhaus, the young German, 19-year-old. There he is in the middle there with the long white socks. And in the grey of Saris Ruvi Sauerland team, the German team, is Julian Borech, who's already hoovered up maximum points at the first of our 3 sprint points in Sassenberg. They have 2 more to come in Oostbeven and Kelma. And so far, Brian, this is going in a very predictable direction. They've had 4.5 minutes and now they have 2, and there's only 4 left.
It is, and you know, we're talking about the amount of quality sprinters that we've got here, and it's evident that 3 teams at least, Bike Exchange, Alpecin and Quickstep, are happy just to control things. Bora, I've got a couple of good sprinters in Sam Bennett and Jordi Meus. Be interesting to see what way they go in the end. I think it will be for Sam Bennett, but we'll have to wait and see. But they're not contributing. And it's pretty much been this kind of holding pattern for the last kind of hour or so, with the sprinters teams controlling things towards the front, and the riders in front really kind of knocking lumps at each other for the King of the Mountains and the sprints. Got another sprint coming up in about 10 kilometres time, the last of them being at 29.4, and I expect that the 4 will stay out there and battle for that prize. But the main prize of the day is winning the race, and you know, Münsterland has been around for quite a few years now, and traditionally it comes down to, you know, a sprint, although last year was broken up into crosswinds. A smaller group came to the finish. Mark Cavendish won, but traditionally it comes into a bunch finish, and you know, okay, it's nice to win, but to win in this company with so many top sprinters here, I think that's what the pressure is on a lot of these sprinters. You know, we've got the European champion Jakobsen, we've got Sam Bennett, as I just mentioned earlier, Dylan Groenewegen, Nizzolo, Ackermann, Coy, Philipsen, to name just a few. We've got some real top-class sprinters here. They're going to be battling it out for the win, and only one of them can win. The rest are losers in their mind.
Although it's not a World Tour race, it's a Point Pro race, so the second rung down. The other 2 big one-day races in Germany, of course, being Eschborn-Frankfurt and the Hamburg Cyclassics. Frankfurt was, of course, way back in May, and it was Sam Bennett on that occasion who won it for Bora Hansgrohe. And then his Bora Hansgrohe teammate, Marco Haller, winning that fascinating edition of the Hamburg Cyclassics just a few weeks ago, getting the better of Wout van Aert in what was in the end a breakaway forged by Van Aert on the final ascent of the climb up from the river. And Bora Hansgrohe going for the triple for them in Germany, and Quickstep Alpha Vinyl going for the triple of wins in this race, having won with Cavendish 1 year ago, and then Alvaro Hodge 2 years ago, because this race didn't happen in 2020 due to COVID. There you are, Brian. There's your turned-in levers shot that we were waiting for in our 4 breakaway riders. I think all of them, in actual fact, turned in a lot. In fact, one of the 2 Bike Aid riders there, I'm going to spot who that was, extremely well turned in as well. I guess there's elements of it that could be more comfortable in that your hand isn't being forced out. It sort of lies in a little bit. It's just reaching the levers, I guess, when you're on the drops as well.
Yeah, it seems to be a trend nowadays, like you said. Some riders were having the levers higher I've always ridden my levers pretty much, level. My bar's pretty much level and maybe slightly tilted up at times. But as we get down the line here, a lot of the top teams are, got kind of traditional setups, but